Welcome. In today's foundational video, I'm going to go through a few hip mobility exercises that especially pertain to you if sitting in this position is challenging. I want to get right to it. These are moves that you can favorite and then just come back to them as needed, daily if needed, and even do this as a warm-up before another class if you think that it's helpful. Let's start on hands and knees. Hands are underneath shoulders and knees are underneath hips. And we're just going into those hip cars, which you may have done with me in a full body workout before. So the leg is going to extend behind. Let's start with the right side. Now the goal of these, I'm just going into detail, a little bit more detail than I do in a class. The hips are staying forward. You're going to extend the, let's say, right leg up to the ceiling as far as you can, while keeping your hips square to the front. You're going to try not to open this hip to the side. Yeah, we're trying to keep that square. And if you're really lifting and also pulling up through the belly, you should feel your hamstring and your butt working. Yeah, just in this position. From here, you're opening the leg to the side. You're bringing it all the way around and then coming through. We're going to reverse what we just did. So you're opening the thigh to the side, carrying the leg around and back, and then dropping it to the mat. We're going to do that again. Kicking back, opening, coming around and dropping down, and then returning the leg and lowering down and kicking back. Now we're thinking a bit full body, right? Arms are pressing down, belly is pulling up, spine is reaching long. And we're working the mobility in that hip. Keeping your breath going. Let's open this leg, take it around to the back. We're going to switch sides. So we kick the left leg back, we open to the side, we come around and down, and then opening the leg, bringing it to the back. Try to feel that glute, again, firing as the leg comes up and dropping down. And you can do like, I don't know, 5 of these on each side. So this is a move you could put in your back pocket. And then if your hips are tight, this is a good one for you. Just to increase your mobility in your hip and work your range. I think we have one more to make it 5. Kicking back, opening, coming around, and then reaching back, and then coming down. From here, we're going to sit. The legs are going to come into what we call a 90-90 position. So the shin is parallel with the thigh. The front shin is parallel with the back thigh. And you may already be feeling a stretch. I'm kind of squaring myself off this way so you can kind of see what this looks like at an angle. We have an opportunity to stretch our hips in external rotation and internal rotation. Let's start with external, flexing your front foot. You're going to lean forward with a nice long flat back and just lean into your stretch. So opening up through the hip, and the longer you kind of feel your spine, the more you think about lengthening your spine and reaching your tail back. Like if you were to move your pelvis and extend your tail behind you, you should feel your glute stretching more. Yeah, so you should feel your hip a little bit more there. So get into that stretch, breathe there, hold a moment. Come up, and then paying attention a little bit to this internal rotation of the back leg, you're just going to turn, face that back leg, lift the chest up, feel this spiral. Take a moment and breathe here, getting a bit into this hip mobility. So true mobility is not passive. We want to think about if we're really trying to create mobility over flexibility, we want to think about keeping it active the entire way. So we're going to activate this. Hands are coming to chest. You're going to lean forward as much as you can, right? So now you're only going as far as you can without your hands. You're going to come up and then rotating back, coming back to center, hinging forward, coming up, rotating. So instead of working only on flexibility, we're thinking of mobility. How far can we move in the range, right, actively while keeping it active? Hinge, come up, and rotate, and center. Hinge, come up, rotate. Let's do one more. Hinge, come up, rotate. We're gonna turn the legs. Might feel a little tight. We're flipping to the other 99, so 90-90, front shin parallel with your back thigh. You have like two, right angles in your knees. And you're gonna start just passive stretching, leaning forward. You can flex your front foot. And again, play with your pelvis. Like if you really send your tail back and you lengthen through your spine, you should feel more stretch in that hip. Breathing here as you reach over your right leg. Breathing in the stretch. And then coming up and then facing your back leg and feeling your internal rotation. Place your hands on your thigh, kind of pulling yourself up and out into your rotation of the hip. So your chest stays lifted, your thighs folding inwards. Again, grab with your hands if you need to help with that pivot. And now we're taking this from just a flexibility, just a stretch, to a mobility exercise. So hands come in the middle at your chest. You're hinging forward at your hips, seeing how far can you go down, using the strength of your leg, and then pivot into your rotation. Coming forward, lean down, come up, and pivot. I have a tendency here to do this with my head. Yeah? Don't do it with your head. Do it from your trunk. Try to keep your chest up. And if you flex your front foot, it'll help you. Kind of gives you like a little sense of working through that leg. Breathing. Hinge. Come up. Rotate. Come forward. Hinge. Come up. Rotate. Come forward. Keeping breath moving. Last one. All right. You can give your legs a little shake, stand up, see how your hips feel for the rest of the day. And that is your foundational hip mobility. Thank you. See you soon.